Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. The fish splashes in the water and swims away. I need you to roll me a 1d20 PotatoMcWhiskey.
One guy at 20.
Okay, nice.
Oh,
Alrighty,
my
you're-
prediction is we're gonna kill the White Prince in like a year, and this fish is gonna reappear and be like, "I gave you your wish."
What a troll fish. That was day 5 of your journey. Day 6.
Damn.
Day 7. All right. Give me one more navigation check, MrMouton. That rainstorm sort of threw you off of your course a little bit. Can you re-find your way after
This
the
is my
rainstorm?
third one. Oh no, it's only my second. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not a problem. Our party will make their way all the way to Jamuba. You will come round the coast over here. You will see the large mountains that protect the small harbor from harm. You will see that there is a forest between the mountains and the harbor, not the harbor, but the bay itself. And you'll see a large paddock out near. You'll see huge herds of cattle roaming around, a small, gentle little village tucked away within this area, a few little docks sticking out into the water, a castle or a tower on a hill at the back of the town with the flag of the White Prince waved up high on it. But looking into the town, you'll see no Inquisitor. You see only one soldier of the White Prince standing around near the docks, but they're standing like there with a spear and a flag. And you get the distinct impression that this person looks more like a ceremonial guard, like holding the flag of the White Prince, than someone who's actually enforcing anything, as people mill about and go about their daily life beyond
Is
the
there
reach
any,
of the soldier.
Big ships in the harbor.
There are ships in the harbor. There are no large ships right now. They look like little merchant vessels that go back and forth. Medium-sized cargo ships, or a medium-sized cargo ship is the largest ship that you see here.
Right. So there's no clipper with the White Prince's flag like what Lady Nightingale would have expected. Okay.
Yep.
So, as we cruise past the dock, I'll say, well, maybe we should do it once around the island just to see if there's anything else on the coast. But if not, that forest we passed just back there should be a good place for us to pull in, Nor cast his spell, and we can make our way to the town from there.
Let's do it.
Great. You will come round to the backside of the island, but I'm going to need Captain Winters, who is sailing the ship, to make me a seamanship check. The waters on the back of Jamuba are dangerous and rough, and they are difficult to pull your ship through.
Well, if there's anyone we can rely on to pass this check, it's me.
Natural 1.
But I need to refresh roll 20. My character sheet won't open. 2 secs.
Makes sense. Reset the seed,
Yeah, exactly that. All right, seamanship, you ready? It's a 13.
Yeah, you find it a little bit tough going past these islands on the backside over here. The waters are odd, I shouldn't say odd, but the positioning of the land and the island causes like a really tight, tough flow, and you need to find a way to get in and out of this without getting smashed aside the rocks. However, you know what you're doing here. You've been a captain for a long time, and you can arrange your ship to go past and around and through these canals and do a whole circling of the island. This right here is the only town on the coast you see. Much of the top side of the island is covered in forest. There are some mountains that come back down the backside. Let's just do a quick, there's a mountain range over here. There's some woods along this side over there that you can see. Zoom out so see what's happening. And then this land on the southern side is not quite it's more like grasslands or prairie that you see back over here.
Okay, so there's nothing else obvious.
Nothing that looks like any other cities or things of interest. You will notice there is a small, not a mountain range, but there is a mountain out towards the middle a little bit, like a peak.
Well, like I said, I think we try and, on the way back around, land in that forest and we'll cast the spell and make our way into town from there. Does the town look big enough that we're not going to be immediately recognized as being not from the island and we didn't come on a ship?
No, any one of these places on the outer ring like this, you'll probably be recognized. The town looks kind of smallish. Population of this is maybe 1,000, 2,000, a couple thousand. But each island will have a distinct enough accent that you'll be pretty quickly recognized as an outsider.
No, but I mean, like, because if new people turn up into town but there's no new ships been docked, then that's suspicious.
Well, so if you, what do you want to say? Ships show up. You might be a person who got off a ship. There's very little way of telling who got off of what ship unless you...
Yeah.
You
okay,
know, like,
cool.
unless you're talking to someone who is dealing with the crew and passengers of a ship.
All
Well,
right, cool.
If it's a small town, a ship landing might be news. Like, oh, a clipper landed today and there was 20 people on board.
Yeah, and so if someone asks, you might want to, pass yourself off as belonging to one of the ships in the harbor. And if you stay long enough that all the ships in the harbor have come and gone, and then you disappear when a ship hasn't come or gone, then maybe it'll be surprising.
So the smart thing to do is to like wait for another ship and then land, but I'm not sure we can be bothered doing that.
Well,
And if there's one guard, then who gives a fuck?
I mean, how do we just brazenly want to land on the dock? Like,
Well, like I said, I think the alternative is to wait for a bigger ship to come and then land and go in and play ourselves off like we came from that ship, but we could be waiting here for days, weeks.
What does it matter? Nobody's gonna ask.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. Let's all right, let's pull over ashore. I'll divert the wheel towards the shore where the forest is.
all right. You can find a soft spot of sand on the shore, pull the ship up, put it in its bottle, hoist the bottle, and head into town. Let's see what time of day it is when we arrive.
Oh, by the way,
is-
Archie, I think you should be on full health by now.
Am I not? Oh shit.
It is
Thought it
5
was.
hours after sunup, which puts us. It is it is cold
Midday.
time. Yeah. 7 days. It is January 12th. Sun rises at 7:22 a.m. So it is noon 30 when you make it in.
All right, what do these forests look like? Dense, comfortable to walk through, dangerous.
The forest here is unmanaged. It has lots of underbrush, plenty of little critters scurrying about within it. It doesn't look particularly dangerous, but any large predators don't really reveal themselves. Predators tend to hide until they need to strike. So the woods are traversable, but it'll be a slow picking of your way through the woods, because you're going to want to cut through the woods instead of taking the many mile route around. It would be like, twice as fast to cut through the woods.
Yep, which I think is what we do.
Yeah.
We have to do the ship thing first, so here's a D5, I think, one for how long it takes us to unload it.
Right, it's going to take hours to unload. Oh,
Took an hour.
Nice.
Not today, it didn't.
Nice work.
Nice.
And no
So-
one puts it in a bottle.
Are the drums shrunk with the ship, or do we have
No.
to take them off? Okay,
They're on
so
Archie's bag.
Archie's carrying them.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
since you took everything off the ship, it's all sitting here in the woods. So if you want to load and launch the ship, it should be done from that same spot where all your gear is.
Yeah,
Correct.
Okay.
we hide our food and water there.
Or
somewhere.
you could just leave and then come back if anything
Right.
crazy happens.
Right. Excellent.
Okay. I will chart a path through the woods for us, hacking away at the foliage with my sort of largish knife.
Mm-hmm. You make your way to the river on the other side, and then it's just a short swim or something across the river to town. You don't see a bridge, but you do see some boats docked, pulled up on the river on small little docks, 15 feet long. Like someone's got their own rowboat next to their house. It is farmland alongside the river. It looks like this river might occasionally flood and like rise up and feed the farmland and then retract again or something like that. Looks like one of these tidal rivers.
All right, so before we cross the river then, I'm going to say to the group, okay, so once we swim across here, we're going to be in town pretty shortly. So what's the plan here? Should we find an inn, set ourselves up, spend a night drinking, listening to the words in the tavern, come up with a better plan once we're there? Okay, well, it does hurt me to have to say to all three of you at this point, so late into our adventures. But please, don't say the name of our group. Remember your aliases. And don't brag about killing anyone or, ousting the White Prince. Nilrim, don't say the name of the god. Okay, everyone, we all understand each other. That we have to be...
I'm Barchi, right?
He's Barchi.
I think I'm Barchi. I'm confused now, Captain. Can we go over the names again?
Yes, okay. Me, your glorious captain, is Captain Waterford, okay? I'm a merchant.
You can't be Captain Waterford anymore.
Why not?
Didn't he get killed by the White Prince, right? Didn't he do that whole thing? Or no, that was Starbuck. Sorry.
Starbuck, yeah. I'm Captain Waterford. I'm a merchant from Flotsam Isle.
Okay.
You're Merlin. You're Barchi. And I do think that the two of you could maybe work on your aliases slightly, because this doesn't take a genius to put two and two together there. And Sail, you're Darrow, okay? We all understand that. We're not going to mention who we really are, what we're doing here. We're going to lay low. We're going to make friends with the locals. We're going to find out as much information as we can. Right?
Got it.
Oh,
Okay.
So killing noble ladies in bathrooms, is that like a yes or a maybe?
That's a no. I forgot about that one.
That's a no. What about if there's a gnome in an alleyway and he recognizes us?
Is it a rock gnome or a deep gnome?
It's a rhyming gnome.
Oh, then no, you can do what you like with that.
Okay.
What about an old man who's going to stumble upon our plans?
Oh, we
Cool
killed
to
him.
kill him?
No, just try and confuse him.
Okay, well, too late on that one. We already killed him.
Oh, well, any future old men who are confused in alleys.
I'm actually not
Okay.
sure if you told us that you killed that lady. I might have metagamed there.
Yeah, I don't think you did.
Yeah, I just forgot. My bad.
I give Archie a wink.
So we're all in agreement, yes? Because I don't want to have to beat the shit out of any of you, Archie excluded. If things go wrong again.
Shit out of any of us. You're the one who's always getting knocked out every fight.
Yeah, perhaps, because I'm actually fighting though. I'm not sitting around in the park playing with books.
I'll slap John on the shoulder and say, "It's okay, sleepy winners. You take a nap the next fight. Don't worry."
Just a sleepy guy.
Hair's almost regrown. Look at that.
Okay,
That
the
means
three of
it's
you
been
can
a
get away
while.
with this just this one time, okay? Because I'm in a good mood. Now, clothes
Here, do
off.
you need one of
get to
these? I'll
swimming.
pull out a healing salve and he'll hold it in his hand. You sure? You sure?
You hear
You're
a
going
voice
across fast, Nilrim.
from across the river. Hello there! And there is a farmer of some kind standing at the edge of one of the
Man?
docks, sort of like waving in your direction. It is a man. It is an old
Are they
man.
Hotness check.
It's finally happening.
How hot is he?
The old man's hotness is 12.
He's a good-looking old man.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking well.
Mm-hmm.
All that sheep's milk.
Gives you a big wave with both his arms. Hello there! Are you trapped?
I give a deep sigh and roll my eyes and turn around with a smile to the old man and say, "Hey there! We were picking herbs in the forest, but our rowboat got untied and sailed down the river. I don't suppose you could get us across."
Hops in his boat, rows it across as best as he can. He comes a little bit down the tide or down the river with the current. You can meet up with him, and he pulls his boat up shore. Waves at you and says, "Why, hello there. They call me Windy. Well, what are you doing on this side? Picking herbs? Don't you know this forest is dangerous?"
Thank Esther that you're here, Windy. Yes, well, we did not know it was so dangerous. We've merely just about escaped with our lives. And let me tell you, I'm glad to see you. My name's Captain Waterford. This is my merry crew here. Neal, Merlin, Barchi, and Darrow.
Pleasure to meet you. You must be on one of the ships in the harbor.
That's right, that's right. Say, I know that it's a bit of an inconvenience for you. I'm sure a few silver coins would make things right if you could get us back to the other side.
Of course. No payment necessary. Around here, small village like this, far away from everything else, if we don't stick together, we'll all fall apart.
Well, I understand that, Windy, but we don't pay taxes here. We're from somewhere completely different, so I would like to contribute if it's possible.
Well, what a good young lad. Why can't my son be more like you? You know, and he helps you guys get into the boat while he tells you about the troubles of his son and how ungrateful he is and how Windy's worked so hard on this farm to make a good life, and the son doesn't want to be a farmer like his father. His son wants to go off and join the White Prince's army and see the world and sail everything, and it's just really disturbing. You know, my poor son, I think he's been lulled in by the promises of seeing the world and meeting interesting people. He doesn't realize that his place is here. No, he's a dumbass. No smart man would willingly join the White Prince's army. Not when you can stay home with your family. I think he's just eager to get out of the house. He doesn't realize that it means death out there. That life is hard. He's had it so good. He wants it rough. You know what I mean?
I understand. Well, we've seen our fair share of troubles out on the open seas. Perhaps if you'd be in a local watering hole one evening, we could talk to your son, maybe give him a dose of reality.
Would that you could. Well, if you come across my son, Wolfie, give him a good talking to, would you?
Of course. I will give this man 3 silver coins once we get to the other side.
Yeah. He drops you off next to his farm. He shows you where the path is towards town and goes back to his farming activities.
And make out we already know the path to town.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. We walk into town. Well handled there, chaps. Didn't kill the guy. Didn't even slap him or anything. Didn't insult him. Come a long way.
I thought about it.
I know you did, Sale. I could see it.
I really wanted a magic missile him, Captain.
I know you did. I was ready.
I did my best.
I was gonna slap the shit out of you the second you went for that component pouch of yours.
This is hard.
It's okay. Get a few beers in you, and I'm sure. Try
Anytime
to
we
see
drink,
it.
we get into problems.
That is true, but this is the first night amongst many to come where you're all gonna stay nice and calm.
Okay.
Which night am I allowed not be calm?
The night that
Last night.
Brody arrives.
Okay.
You come on into town, and away from the little village over there, the little farm area, town's a bit more hustling and bustling. More stuff is going on. People move to and fro. But what really draws your eye is a group of people near the base of the hill where that tower is at the back, all sort of gathered together and talking amongst themselves. There's some sort of like soapbox set up with a person standing above it, motioning with their hand. It's far enough away that you can't actually hear what's going on. It's maybe 4,000 feet from you or something like that, 2,000 feet from you, but close enough that you can see that there's some sort of disturbance happening. The rest of town is going about their normal duties. People are hauling in food from inside the town. There's animals being traded, little goods everywhere, a small market where ships can unload their goods and trade them with the people here, barrels of water and food being loaded onto the ships. The usual stuff you would expect.
Right. Let's try and find an inn and slip in unseen so it looks like we've been here for a while. Not
Kill
unseen,
everybody in the
but
end,
quietly.
so that no one will know that we're there. Good, Cap.
I give him a look that says, I know you're trolling me, and I'm not going to engage with it.
You make your way to one of the inns here. The inn is called Isla de Buba.
The Island of Boobs.
It's my kind of island.
That's my kind of island too. We've come to the right place here, lads. Right, let's go in. I will go in and have a little talk with the innkeeper and see if we can't get 4 rooms or failing that 2 rooms, and keep it on the DL so it doesn't look like we're just arriving, to everyone else.
Okay. You got a couple rooms. You're hanging out in the common room.
Okay, well, my goal is to buy everyone a round of drinks. Let's just sit in, soak in the atmosphere, listen to rumors. I'm sure if Hubert's already here, somebody will be talking about it, or we might hear about what's going on in the keep or whatever else. So let's just ingratiate ourselves with the locals.
And
We're gonna have a boring night.
just a
is what he's
boring
trying to
night.
tell you. Yeah,
Mhm.
because we can't kill anybody or do anything fun because Captain Winters is a killjoy. So the crew has a boring night.
There has to be something we can do.
I mean, we can't kill anybody, so what else would we be doing?
Archie's gonna ask Nilrim to teach him how to play cards.
Oh, yeah. We'll play poker all night.
Swindled
Right?
the
You
town
guys
of
just
their money.
hang out. You
We
play
play
some
for real money.
cards. You trying to draw attention to yourselves? You trying to keep a low profile?
I think we want to.
I think.
You know, what I want to do is, like, the current batch of people that are in here will stay quiet while they're here. But once I feel like the room's cycled, you know, and all the people that are in here now, we were already there before them.
Mhm.
Maybe then we'll have had a few drinks, we'll loosen up a bit, maybe invite someone to come and play with us. I'll go to the bar and, like, chat to, if anyone looks like a merchant or vaguely important, I'll have a chat with them at the bar.
Mhm.
Just want to spend the night trying to find out what we can about what's going on in town, what are people talking about, etc.
Nilrim gets a high stakes poker game going. And he's going to count cards.
All right.
How do you count cards
It's hard to
in poker?
get a truly high stakes game going because the people here are pretty poor. For them, the high stakes game is like a 2 copper low bid and a 4 copper high bid, or what do you call it? The ante, low ante and high ante. There's a term.
They're not
Blinds.
allowed in.
Blinds.
We're
Blinds.
doing at least a gold.
No,
A
no one
blind.
has that money.
Well, good. Stay out of the game then.
Well, I'm not going to play cards with you, you're a cheat.
Captain Winters, I've never cheated.
I never play cards with you. It's the only reason.
Let's just play. It's not a big deal.
Fine, but
I
if I
wouldn't
see
cheat a crewmate.
if I see that little brain of yours working overtime trying to count the cards, I want to know about it.
I promise on my honor, as a pirate, I will not count cards against you.
He says, as a pirate, I look around to see if anyone heard this.
He was probably pretty loud. Not like screaming, but definitely not concealing it in a whisper.
Well, a 13 is good enough for someone to maybe notice you. Let's just do a quick 3d6 over here. Yeah, someone kind of like turns their head in your direction and just gives a glance. But
I'll laugh.
that sort of
really
word,
loudly.
that sort of phrase in among itself isn't enough to really, if
Yeah.
you're at a bar and someone says, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," you might like glance over. But if everything sort of chills out, you're not gonna pay too much attention. But you might recognize that face a few minutes later.
I'll laugh loudly and say, the only thing you pirate is the affections of old crones.
Nerum will divvy out the cards.
All right.
We'll just all put in 10 gold for the whole night and then roll a d20 and whoever has
see
the
who-
highest wins.
That sounds great.
Sure.
Everyone, roll me a d20, and if you lose, we'll subtract 10 gold from your character sheet. Oh my god!
Come
All right, you can
on.
stop rolling.
What are you going to do?
You can stop rolling.
He-
Mr.
What are you going to do,
He
man?
cheated.
He didn't even
cheating.
I'm gonna roll a 20
obviously
as well. Watch
cheating.
this.
Captain, on my honor, I did not even count cards. I'm blessed by Jexel tonight. I swear.
Give me my fucking gold back, Norum.
Nerum
I
will-
take my 10 gold
He'll
back.
give the gold back, I guess. He feels so bad that he mopped it up so easily.
Every single hand, you've just got the nuts. Unbelievable.
Is that a
Hands the
phrase?
gold back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
in
hand
poker,
you've got the nuts?
It's the best possible hand.
Yeah.
If you've got the nuts in your hand, you know no one else can possibly have a better hand than you.
Yeah, so you can do some crazy shit.
Okay.
I mean, having nuts in your hand is kind of in Mooton's family, so.
God.
And there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Oh, he's got him with a reverse. So. Nice. Okay. Yeah, personally, I at least make an effort to try and listen to conversations and overhear what's going on. If I hear anyone talking in thieves' cant, Neal, you let me know about that as well.
Yeah, you don't hear any of that shit going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Norm, after a few drinks, he'll stand up and he'll just ask, "Are there any smart children in the bar? Or any smart people?"
You just asked that to the bar?
Yeah, he's a little drunk.
You just ask if there's children.
I'll give you 5 gold for an IQ test. You just come over here.
Grab him by the shoulders and sit him down. Ignore my friend. He's one bit too much gold at cards and now fancies himself an investor.
People sit down, you know, they don't pay too much attention. Some folks, some new people in town are being a little drunk. They're saying weird things. They're standing up loud. The night continues to pass until it gets pretty dark. And that's when the trouble starts. A group of people come on in, youngish men and women alike. And it's like a large group, maybe 25, 30 folks all come in together. And they order a couple of pitchers, and immediately the discussion gets heated. You can overhear this conversation about, like, it seems to be sort of like a continuing rally of what was happening earlier outside. Someone is saying, "And what has the White Prince ever done for us?" Sure, 30 years ago, when there were trouble in the woods, we had some troops from them. They helped us out, but now what? Now we're having to pay taxes? Now we're having to listen to these damn sermons? Now we have their flags and their soldiers marching around our town trying to tell us what to do? And the crowd will cheer in response to that. Are we really going to stand for this? We don't want the White Prince. Sure, maybe our grandparents wanted them around. Maybe when times were harder and the White Prince was a better ruler and a better man, we could have used those folks. But now, here today, why should we tolerate their presence here? Why should we tolerate these folks? And there's a bit of a cheer. Someone else gets up to make some sort of anti-White Prince.
I encourage us to cheer along with the crowd at the appropriate points.
Okay.
Yeah, we
someone
join in
else
the cheer.
gets up to make another comment about how this is not something that they want here. They harp on the fact that so much money has gone into the maintenance of this tower. The tower was supposed to be a short project. But time again, there were delays, there were cost overruns, and who bared the burden of those cost overruns? We, the people of Jamuba, bore the cost of those overruns. It's the White Prince's tower. He should be paying for it, not us. And with this, there's another rallying cry again.
Hey.
Woo!
I shout using... Wait, do I have ventriloquism on this character? Or is that a different one? Oh, no, I don't. But I think at the heat of the cheer, I'll shout, like, as it's sort of fading down, like, "Fuck the White Prince!"
Yeah, there's a couple of like ho-hos coming from that group. The rest of the bar that's not engaged with this kind of looks over in your direction, looks over in their direction. This group of 25 to 30 people seem very interested in this topic, and everyone else in the bar is like just keeping their heads low. They're here for a quiet night or for a regular, Sunday afternoon drink, and these youths are causing a disturbance.
Norm will ask loudly, I guess, to the youths if they've ever heard of the Krob Strait Rebellion.
Yeah, you go over to the youths and ask them about that?
Well, I think
No.
I'll send the crew over to go and talk to them. I'll go and buy everyone a round of drinks.
Captain, we found our revolutionaries.
Yeah.
He'll go over there and he'll ask them.
Mm-hmm. You walk up to the
yeah,
group.
I
They're in
remember.
the middle of this thing. There's someone up there speaking loudly and proudly and giving orders, or not giving orders, but I'm giving a speech, and other people are applauding. So how do you break into the group? How do you break into this sort of chaos?
He'll just scream over him.
You show up and you yell over the person who's like rallying the people around.
Yeah, he'll
What do
yell
you-
out, "Have you ever heard of the rebellion of Krob Strait against the White Prince?" He'll ask the main guy, I guess.
And the group sort of falls quiet. He looks over at you and goes, "You there, identify yourself. Who are you?"
And then he thinks for a second, does a wisdom check because he's probably pretty fucking drunk. Passes it. I'm Merlin. I'm on Captain
Waterford.
Waterford's ship.
I've never heard of you, Merlin. You don't sound like a local. I don't think our
That's right.
problems here concern you.
Well, I'm actually from an inner island originally. Have you ever heard
And he stands back and crosses their arms.
you ever heard of Rangoon?
Of course we have. Everyone knows about the people of Rangoon and Halfport Bay and how our tax monies go to support their lifestyles and activities. And their will gets imposed upon us.
For the other islands of the inner, that would be true. But Rangoon, it was always a bastion of... It's always the last bastion of hope against the White Prince in the inner islands.
They must have been gone from home for a long time now, because that ain't the truth no more.
Been gone since I was 8 or 9, I think. I've been traveling the outer islands, and I've seen a lot. And I'll tell you that not every island wants to fall under the White Prince, just like you guys don't. There was a rebellion in Krob Strait, where the goblins... Now,
Goblins?
No, they're not like us, but they were being impugned by the White Prince for many years. They rebelled and got their island back. And I can tell you that on another island, there are humans just like us who haven't forgotten what happened.
There's some mutterings of discontentment, furrowed brows looking back and forth between each other. You seem to have hit a nerve here with this mention of goblins. The muttering kind of turns into each other, and the person hops down off their soapbox and walks over to you and goes, "Are you a goblin loyalist? Do you sympathize with the little green creatures? Let me tell you, here in Jamuba, we've had problems with goblins. That's how the White Prince got his hold here to begin with. He deployed troops to our woods to protect us from the goblin threats. That's how he brought himself here. Once they were sufficiently dealt with, he's stayed ever since. Got his toehold in and gripped real hard."
Even a creature as dumb as a goblin, my whole point is, can see that the White Prince isn't the way. So more humans like us should realize that and get him off our fucking islands.
Well, you might be a little bit weird, but your heart's in the right place, I think. He reaches out a hand to shake it.
I'll shake it. What's your name? Cup.
As this is happening, I'll be coming back from the bar with beer for everyone, handing them round to this group.
My name's Robert.
You mean the long form of Bobby?
That's what they used to call me when I was a kid?
Call me Little Bobby. Now they call me Average
Not many
Robert.
of you, not many of you little Bobbies grow up to make it all the way, so I'm proud of you. Well, Robert, I can tell you that Jamuba doesn't stand alone. There are other islands who lay in wait and are tired of the tyranny of the White Prince. If you've ever heard of Sulphur Island, I can tell you that there are still people there who feel his wrath to this day.
Everyone knows the legend of Sulphur Island. Good people slaughtered to the very last man.
You know what they were slaughtered by? There wasn't no man that slaughtered Sulphur Island, but the dead raised to fight again. I've seen it with my own eyes.
There's dark nods throughout the area. People know what you're talking about, and they're not happy about it. Someone speaks up and says, "There's no oath sworn here, though. Jamuba's free of the threat of the undead."
Well, let me tell you a story.
Someone else speaks up and says, "That's not true. They bring them on ships, whole ships filled with them. They could attack at any moment." This is not coming from this group. It's coming from down the bar. You kids, if you bring the White Prince's wrath on us, the same thing that happened to Sulphur Island will happen here. Just leave it be. The White Prince barely has a toehold here. We don't want to make trouble. We don't want to end up like the people of Sulphur Island.
But now, you're just going to ask for more, though.
How much will you give him until you stand against him? You don't have to be in rebellion, but you can refuse his domain.
You already give him your children. I'm sure that the Inquisitor comes out even to here and takes them away.
How many of you have lost children to the White Prince, ripped from the cradle?
A group of the youth raise hands, and a couple people say, "My brother, my sister," blah, 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 blah. One or two people from down the way raise a hand as well. With just the maybe 50 people in this tavern right now, there are a total of like 10 hands in the air. 1 in 5 has lost someone to the White Prince, seemingly.
They tried to take me, being the most brilliant child to ever live. He ruffles his head. My parents sent me away. They sent me to Arcadia. And I'm coming back to see what it's like, I guess, in my homeland.
The person who was speaking earlier, Robert, steps, who had kind of slipped back into the crowd, steps back out and says, "What do you mean tried to take you? You lived? You don't look like a man of the White Prince. You don't see any holy symbols around your neck. There's no tattoos on your hand. What happens? What happens when they take you?"
They took me onto a ship for questioning. For some reason, they let me go back home that night. They were making a decision because I think I picked the wrong god in the questionnaire. And my parents that night sent me out with my uncle, who was an unscrupulous type, and he took me to Arcadia. From there, I studied for a few years, and well, here I am, back.
We just want to make a difference.
You can see there's some people at the back of the tavern who are getting a little fed up with it. And they quickly and quietly get up from their table, leave some coins on it, and walk out the back door.
Every town has cowards.
After they leave, no one will speak up. We've seen Sulphur Island, and I can tell you that they didn't kill everybody there. There's still a rebellion, and they're in waiting. They are looking for more islands to join.
Says someone. Another person with an accent not from this island who speaks up. "I have sailed past Sulphur Island a dozen times. There ain't nothing that lives there. Only the corpses."
We'll pull out the Kaiser family book, and we'll place it on the table in front of that guy. You should know the family if you've heard of Sulphur Island. This is proof I've been there.
There are some low murmurs. Quickly, the crowd gathers round to look at the book. They see the crest of the family. Most people don't recognize it, but someone does. Someone says, "That's it. That's the Kaiser family."
I'll flip through the book, and I will. I think this is a book about the whole family, so it should have like the lineage of like who survived or like who was there. And I'll point to the daughter because we know that she survived. And I'll point her name out and be like, "She's the one who kept the island afloat." It still goes in hidden ruins to this day.
Archie, can you make me a charisma check at disadvantage at this point in time?
Absolutely, Koibu.
Roll it again. We want the
And we want the lower one, yeah.
lower one. Okay. No one quite recognizes the Crimson Fist, but you do get a couple of people looking at you twice, and kind of gazing you up and down. But it passes
checking
quickly.
out my muscles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Captain, I'll like sidle over to John and be like, "Captain, maybe we're drawing a little bit too much attention. Maybe we should discuss this privately with these boys."
Perhaps, yeah.
How did you
See
get
if
on
I
the
can have
island?
a word with the. I'm going to speak to the bartender.
How'd you get past the undead?
Normal kind of whisper, I guess, to the group now. It seems like the reason no one brought this up is it seemed like the people who didn't want to hear about it have kind of fucked off and left. So it's probably people with open minds or the people who've already had their mind like decided. So he'll explain to them, I guess, like the way that they got in. He won't explain how to find them, but he will explain like the path in, which is the river to the middle.
Would you roll me for 1d20 plus 3d6, Nilram, and roll low? For your own sake, roll low. Okay, 12. Okay. You're good. You're good.
It doesn't have to be right now, but I just want to have a conversation with the bartender or the innkeeper or whatever.
I think now is the appropriate time. While Nilram is talking with them about these things, you can get over to the bartender, who is a portly woman. Huge belly, huge rounded face, apron up to the clavicle, kind of covered with greasy stains. She's placing a plate of fried chicken in front of one person and a couple of mugs of ale in front of the others. And then as you approach the bar, she leans over and goes, "Now listen here. This is a place welcome for all. You outsiders we don't need any help stirring up trouble. Y'all are causing some problems here."
I was going to ask you if we were causing issues for you. You don't share our concerns?
I'm a businesswoman, and politics is always bad for business.
I was going to suggest, perhaps, in the interest of making new friends, if we couldn't have a lock-in tonight, I'd be happy to pay you for the convenience.
What's a lock-in?
Well, you shut the doors and everyone in here stay as much as they like. We can have our discussions in private without fear of anyone else interrupting. And in the morning, you walk away 10 gold richer, plus the cost of all the drinks that our friends here are buying.
Well, Nick. The woman is clearly trying to stay away from politics, but you're trying to bribe her into allowing you guys to use her bar as a political hub. I'm going to need a charisma check from you to convince her that this is in her best interest.
29.
You know, politics aside, she's a businesswoman. She's here to make some money. All right, we can do this thing, but I'm not involved. I ain't supporting the White Prince, and I ain't supporting any sort of rebellious or seditious activity. You ain't here to hold a political rally. You're just here to drink all night.
I
She
understand that.
takes your money. Well, actually, she asked for the 10 gold up front.
Yeah, well, I'll give her 20 and ask her to keep the drinks coming.
Okay. And then she will go around and begin to shut the doors and then go quietly from table to table and let people know that things are getting a little out of hand. If they don't want to be part of this, that they should go right now. And she's going to try and quiet down the bar for the rest of the night and uses polite excuses to get people to leave. Soon, it's just the four of you, the group of 25 to 30 young folks, and maybe 8 others who are going to stick around and see what's going on.
Right? I'd let Nilrim or Sail or Archie go back to telling their stories about whatever, and I will drink it in for a minute.
What was your story about how you got onto the island again, Nilrim? I've forgotten.
No, on a ship. Nobody's really asked like the whole how we're here.
Well, one of the people, the other captain who said that they've sailed past that island a dozen times, asks you how you made it to the island. How you got on.
I'll explain to them how, on the backside of the island, there's a river that goes into a strait. That's how you get in and past the undead. We've been on twice. One, we killed the undead. And then the second time, we went the easy way.
So you talk about, because they want to hear the story. They ask about, you going onto the island, you fought the undead that were there, really? How did, they're undead. They never stop. They don't give up when they're wounded. They just come. All they want is death. How did you make it through them? Did you make it through
aim for the head.
hordes?
I'll hold up Archie's fist and say this man's fist could crack a bone in half.
If it's a zombie, you aim for the head. If it's a skeleton, you beat it with a club.
You raise
I
up his
slammed 2
fist.
skeletons into each other one time, actually. It was great. Remember that?
How could
You
we forget?
You hold up Archie's fists. Archie, make me another charisma check at disadvantage.
All right.
Yikes.
Oh, no.
Someone there goes, well, that sounds like the Crimson Fist.
Archie will
I mean, at
smile
this point,
for that.
Nilrim's fucking drunk, probably.
He's,
We got a lock-in going. We're among friends. Nilrim will...
Archie has a rush of euphoria, and he gets a little smirk on his face, and he's like, nah.
Nilrim will...
But you do think you've heard of the Crimson Fist, right? Right?
Who hasn't? There's been someone going around, beating up the White Prince's men, breaking their heads.
Yeah. The guy sounds pretty cool, right?
Sounds strong. Sounds terrifying. He sounds like he could hurt someone, seriously. This guy here, he's got a hot temper. That's why they call him Crimson. It's not for the blood that flows, it's for his anger.
Oh yeah.
I'll whisper it to the crowd like, I heard it's because when he punches things, his fists are on fire.
Oh my Captain John, your plan to keep a low profile succeeded for about 6 hours.
Yeah.
How are you going to react to this?
Well, I let them finish their initial drinking in the glory, and then I'll sort of wander back over from the outside position.
Well, I guess
I'll
before
say.
you came back,
Yeah,
I think
Nilram,
Norm
you were
would've
about to
done a
say
toast.
something. Mhm.
He would have started a toast to the Crimson Fists and tried to get
Yeah.
like everybody get their fucking what is it called, like their cups in.
Yeah, so you start to make a toast to the Crimson Fist, and someone else goes, well, hold on. I mean, he might be fighting the White Prince's men, but he's still a pirate. I hear that the Crimson Fists were sacking ships down by... God, I've forgotten the place's name already. Down by Moncher. Aren't they pirates?
No.
Aren't they murderers?
No. Only those are just rumors and lies about us. Only the White Prince's ships do we sack.
Us?
Only
Are
the
you the Crimson
smiling Hess.
Fists?
Everyone's
is
getting
when-
a little bit carried away here.
This is when Captain
It's
John
true.
arrives.
The glory of the Crimson Fist is widespread along the Outer Rim, and let me tell you, I've met Captain John Winters and his crew myself personally, and I've heard them called pirates, but these men aren't pirates. They're honorable, fighting for a good cause. My friend Mel in here speaks the truth. They may raid ships, but only those of the White Prince seeking to oppress the folk of the Outer Rim. You wouldn't hold that against them, would you?
This is when Robert tries to re-rally his people and says, fine, folks of Jamuba. These outsiders bring interesting tales and things worthy to listen to, but let us not get distracted by rumors and gossip. We're here because we want to oust the remaining soldiers from the keep. We want to send them packing. Let's stay focused. How can we get this done?
How many soldiers are there in the keep, my friend?
No offense, stranger, but this is Jamuba business. You're just here for a trade. You're gonna leave soon. This is between us, those here that are helping.
It's a foolish man that turns down aid.
It's a foolish man who turns down allies who will leave him, and it's a wise man who turns down allies who are soon to flee.
What if I were to tell you that soon enough the White Prince's hold on this island is to be strengthened, and it's probably in your interest and your friends here to act sooner rather than later before reinforcements show up, and one Father Hubert makes his way here to convince your local lords that the White Prince is worth listening to.
Some exchanged looks. The guy says, well, Father Hubert is a wise and judicious man. We've met with him before. He's organized
Perhaps.
peace and kept things from bloodshed. He helped
sure.
diminish the White Prince's presence on this island 5 years ago, down to the few squads that remain. I would welcome Father Hubert here. I think he could help us negotiate a peaceful settlement to the problems.
That takes me a bit off guard, that. I kind of look to the crew.
Father
see what
Hubert
they're
this time
thinking.
is coming, not with the pen, but with the sword. We know that there's a few clipper ships full of knights coming to take a stronger hold on this island. It seems that the White Prince is not so happy with his last negotiations.
Father Hubert would never bring soldiers to forcefully overtake an area. He's widely known as a peaceful man, a good person.
No, we're really sure. The sand told us, right? Remember? The sand guy.
This Father Hubert, perhaps he dangled a few carrots the first few times that you met him, only to come with the stick this time round.
Do you think it
No. Outside agitators here to cause trouble is what this lot is. Listen to their words. What are they saying? They're not giving us words of help. They're not offering real long-term solutions. They're trying to bait you into violence. We want peace in our land and peace in our time, and that involves peacefully removing the White Prince. Don't listen to these sailors from distant lands who claim to have fought the undead, who claim to be friends of the good-natured Crimson Fists. You can't listen to these folks.
Remember the
And so
last
you'll
island that
pay
wanted
taxes.
out?
Sorry?
Do you remember the last island that wanted out, Sulphur Island? Look what happened to them. Why do you
That
think
was
that it would be
80
different
years
here?
ago. Things are different now.
History repeats itself.
The crowd takes a moment to talk amongst themselves, to process the information that they've had and see what each other has to say about it.
Okay.
In this book, is there the paragraph about how they gave all of the money to the White Prince?
Oh, yeah.
And then
While being
Okay, he'll-
sieged? Oh, yeah.
he'll flip to that page and he'll read it aloud, I guess, as they're composing their thoughts.
They listen. They hear it. Someone speaks up and says, "That's only once the war started." Someone else says, "No, but they surrendered." And someone else says, "Oh, well, that was the infamous captain under the White Prince's rule. He's long dead now."
You know just as well as I do that this is a very big bureaucracy. No order like that would not go to the White Prince himself. He's not a man who can be trusted. He's not a man of his word. And that's why Father Hilbro, I don't know if I can remember his name.
Hubert.
That's why Father Hubert is coming back here to renege on the deal that you guys made in the past with stick instead of pen.
He'll come with wizards, clerics, and knights. We've had him.
That's just his bodyguard. They keep him safe from people like you who would see peace destroyed for profit. How do we know you're not the Crimson Fist yourselves? What ship are you a part of, huh? Which boat in the harbor is yours?
Wasn't so long ago that I heard you talking of overthrowing the guards in the keep.
We
All the
want
ale
them
made you go
out.
soft, Robert?
The path to independence and freedom is won through peace and diplomacy, not through violence. We want them out. We want to overthrow them, but not with bloodshed. I hear your words. I hear you baiting me and my fellow comrades into combat. It'll never happen.
And what if they refuse the peaceful option? Will you pay taxes to the man who steals your children?
I will not have you outside agitators causing problems here. You've got no skin in this game. You're gonna leave in a few days. Which ship is yours, huh? Gracefully dodging that question, I see.
No one will reach into his bag. This guy's pissed him off. And I'll show him the ship in a bottle. This is our ship.
They laugh at you.
Oh no.
Captain, you better get control of this man.
Listen, my friends, I say, talking to the crowd. You should be careful. You should be careful putting your faith in a man like this. A man scared of action. A man scared of what really needs to
No
be done.
magic missile's the man who's in the background
No,
screaming
no.
about the dick shit.
I want an initiative roll. I'm going to stop him before he does that.
Opposed initiative rolls, please.
Yeah.
Okay, 1d1 or 1d10 plus 1.
Mhm.
And
Versus,
I would like the
1d10
captain to
plus
have a
3.
negative because he was in the middle of talking.
Yeah, give me a D10 plus 3 for your stuff, and then another 2 because you were
fuck.
chatting
Well,
with people.
a dagger is 2, not 3. And
You're
I'm
not going to use a dagger, are you? When you're
No,
having a
but I might-
conversation?
No, you're gonna shove him or something like
Yeah.
that, and then you're also talking. So give me a D10 plus 4 then. How about that?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, you go to shove him. Happens a moment after the magic missiles fly. Roll me damage. Oh, 3 magic missiles rip into a 3 hit point man. The guy in the back who's making the dick jokes falls dead. The room falls silent. All eyes turn to Nilrum. Captain Winters, you're next to Nilrum, trying, about to. Your hands are on him, but it's already happened.
Tip's
already
not
too
so
late.
funny now, is it? He looks at Robert.
Look, we don't want any trouble from you.
Didn't sound like that.
He wanted trouble. I'll point to the dead guy.
Do you deserve that? Over a joke?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
He didn't
Looks
deserve.
him right in the eyes.
Well, justice is
Murdered
justice,
him
my
for
friend.
making fun of you? What sort of man are you?
I'm the goddamn coolest man you'll ever meet. I'm Nilrim. I'm a fucking
so
wizard,
low.
baby.
Oh, she's cracking up in the back as she says that.
Let's make a concerned morale check for these guys.
Wait. Robert.
It's all right. We're about
Listen.
to turn it around, Captain.
Things got a little bit out of hand here, and I'm sorry about this man's life.
Someone
But
calls
perhaps
out,
we'll
wait, he's
reconsider-
dead! And they drag his body forward and place it between their group and yours. 3 holes in him. You killed him. The crowd of 25 to 30 people menaces forward. Murderers!
Consider your
How
next
many?
moves
How
very
menaces? I
carefully.
need to know.
What?
How menacing?
They're all pretty pissed. And there's a lot of
I
them.
will, like, push Nillarin backwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna move
And
back.
I'll let Sale and Archie step forward if they want. I'll say, now
Archie
listen
will
here.
slowly get up, cross his arms, and walk up.
But a lot of you really
Crack his
want to
neck.
consider your next moves very, very carefully. This does not end well for you. Trust me.
Archie's
Just
taking out his brass knuckles.
Think about what we can do. My friend here.
He is the
clearly
Crimson Fists. They are the
is-
Crimson Fists. They're the pirates.
Hey! Shut up when I'm talking to you. Does another one of you need to die? Think about what we can do here. How we could help you. The offer we so gracefully tried to bring to you. You got trouble with the White Prince's men in their keep? You don't even have to get your hands dirty. We'll deal with them for you. How's about that for recompense? How's about that for help?
A guy named Robert puts his hands up to ward back his companions. Let's not have any more bloodshed here tonight.
Of course not. We're all here for a good time.
Someone's gonna have to take Timmy home to his family. Tell him what happened.
It's true. Well,
Are
As
you
far
gonna do
as-
it, Captain
It's growing
John
in-
Winters?
it's growing ever more expensive by the minute, let me tell you. But how's about I pay you for the privilege, Robert? Perhaps your friend's widow here can live a better life than with a drunken lout of a husband. And I'll throw him 20 gold.
The value of a man's life.
Yeah, it's probably his wages. Discounted back to current prices, accounting for inflation. I'd say that's good.
Wages for almost a year, maybe.
Oh, wait, is 20 gold like a year's wage? He's probably just some drunken lout, though. He's a day laborer or something. He's not going to earn 20 gold.
34 gold would be about a year's wage for a common laborer.
Oh, okay. Well, she can take 20.
Yeah.
How's the vibe in the room looking after that?
Super fucking tense. There's definitely people in the crowd who want to bash their heads in with table legs or bottles or steins, whatever they've got in their hands. And Robert is, holding them back at arm's length, keeping the peace by a sheer force of charisma.
I wish
People.
he wouldn't.
People, if these are the pirates that we think they are, there's no point in trying to fight them. That man there, he says, pointing to Archie, probably take the whole lot of us. Look at those pieces of metal on his hands. There's no need for us to die pointlessly here. Maybe the White Prince was right. Maybe there are still dangers in this world that we need to be protected from. I don't know. I don't like the White
damn
Prince very much. I don't think we want him in these parts.
Yeah, and a great job he's doing of protecting you from us.
Well, maybe if we had an Inquisitor here. I don't know. Why don't we
Well-
all go home and sleep on it? Let cooler heads prevail. We'll talk in the morning. Come on,
Cool.
everybody, out. Everybody out. And he
I'm
slowly
surprised
shuffles
any
the
of you
crowd.
follow this weakling.
The crowd slowly starts to disperse.
Wait, is somebody taking the guy's body?
Robert is
Like
waiting in the
pain.
room until he grabs like 2 people to help him haul the corpse, but he waits until everyone else is gone, and then they get a sheet from the innkeeper, gently place the body in it, and use it as like a stretcher to carry Timmy out of the tavern.
Little Timmy. I give the innkeeper like a look like that. Got a little bit out of hand there.
That was actually the worst outcome that we had.
That was
That was the worst. We had a
the
group.
worst outcome. Yeah.
Only someone
They
could have
were-
won.
They were fired up, ready to go burn down that tower. And I don't know how it happened, but we
went in too
we
hard.
made them followers of
We,
the
re-
White
we
Prince.
really. I apologize, guys. I really fucked that one up. I thought they wanted to hear cool stories, but I guess we should just. Nay, if we ever hear it again, we'll just let them talk to each other. Okay, we'll let them do it.
Well, what the hell's the plan now? This didn't take very long to go to shit, did it?
And that's
Another
when we go to
man dead.
break. See you guys on the other side.